Alright, folks, what's up? Rich Van Tassel back with you, continuing on with our game recap for Week 7 of the NFL season, finishing off the 1 o'clock games. Looks like that Jets game is going to go final. We're waiting for that. Of course, some shenanigans are going to be in that one. I bet Tampa Bay drops to 2-4 as Buffalo moves to 4-2 with a 30-27 victory over the Buccaneers in this one. Jameis Winston, 32 of 44, 384 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Doug Martin, 20 of 49, 2.5 yards per rush. Bernard Reedy, 1 of 10. The team, 25 of 69, 2.8 yards per rush. O.J. Howard, top receiver, 6 of 98. 2 touchdowns. Mike Evans, 7 of 88, 1 touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, 5 of 73. Cameron Brate, 6 of 60. A lot of yards through the air for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of fumbles. Big story in this one. Levante David, Donovan Smith recovered fumbles. Jameis Winston fumbled twice, lost one of them, recovered the other. Adam Humphries had a fumble. I believe Humphries had the big fumble in this game that turned it around. Mike Evans fumbled. It did not lose it and recovered it. Cameron Brate fumbled. And Mike Evans may have recovered a different fumble. I don't know. There's so many on there. He fumbled, did not lose one, recovered a fumble. Cameron Brate fumbled. O.J. Howard fumbled and recovered a fumble. Same situation as we said with Mike Evans. No interceptions. Bernard Reedy, 1 punt return for no yards. No kick returns. Patrick Murray, 2 for 2 in his field goals. For the Buffalo Bills, Tyrod Taylor, good enough, 20 of 33, 268 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. I'll just make note of it now. There was a play Tyrod Taylor early in the game tried to throw a touchdown. He probably could have run for a first down. They ended up settling for a field goal. I believe that field goal was missed, so a big play in this game. Buffalo was able to get away with it. LaShawn McCoy, 23 carries, 91 yards, 4 yards per rush, 2 touchdowns. He had a big fumble in this game as the Jets resort to the shenanigans, and that just ended. But he had a big fumble. Looked like it might cost Buffalo, but then Tampa Bay returned the favor late. Tyrod Taylor, 6 of 53, 8.8 yards per rush. The team altogether, 33 of 173, 5.2 yards per rush. They run the ball very well. Deontay Thompson, 4 receptions, 107 yards. Nick O'Leary, 2 receptions, 58 yards. LaShawn McCoy, 5 receptions, 31. Logan Thomas, former quarterback, it was a college quarterback, 1 reception for 22 yards. It was the touchdown. Leonard Johnson recovered a fumble. Tre'Davious White recovered a fumble. LaShawn McCoy, of course, as we said, lost a fumble. Only 1 sack. It was Ryan Davis. Matt Milano had an interception. Brendan Tate, 2 kick returns, 49 yards. Longest of 26, average of 24.5. No punt returns. Stephen Hausch got 3 for 4 in his field goals. So, give the Bills credit. They got the victory in this one. They looked like it was going to be a situation where they were going to cough it up and lose, as we've said that they've done many times. They didn't. They found a way to win. Could be part of the culture shift here in Buffalo under Sean McDermott. Tough loss for the Buccaneers. Jameis Winston really gutted it out in this one, but he just couldn't get the job done late, and that fumble killed them. Tennessee getting a 12-9 victory in overtime over the Browns. Browns dropped to 0-7. Tennessee had to have this game. They moved to 4-3. Marcus Mariota not very good at all. 21 of 34, 203 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. DeMarco Murray, 18 of 59 running, 3.3 per rush. Derrick Henry, 13 of 13 running. 1 yard per rush. Obviously, the team altogether 32 carries for 80 yards, which is 2.5 yards per rush. Delaney Walker, top receiver, 7 of 63. Tywan Taylor, 3 of 45. Rashard Matthews, 3 of 40. Janu Smith, 2 of 22. Delaney Walker lost a fumble. The team had 2 sacks. Jarrell Casey, a half. Brian Orakpo, a half. Derek Morgan, 1.5. Those are 2 good pass rushing outside linebackers. Kevin Bynard, 3 interceptions. Returned all of them for 60 yards total. Ryan Suckup, 4 for 5 in his field goals, including the game winner. For the Cleveland Browns, their quarterback situation, they went to Deshaun Kaiser actually to start. I was surprised Hogan didn't even play in this game. Kaiser, again, struggling, 12 of 20, 114 yards. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Cody Kessler, 10 of 19, 121 yards. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Isaiah Crowell, 17 carries, 35 yards, 2.1 per rush. Duke Johnson Jr., 7 of 26, 3.7 per rush. The team, 26 of 66, 2.5 yards per rush. David Njoku, 2 receptions, 58 yards. Duke Johnson Jr., 6 of 45. Isaiah Crowell, 4 of 36. Seth DeVille, 2 of 27. That's receiving. Ibrahim Campbell recovered a fumble. 2 sacks. Myles Garrett had 1. Jamie Collins Sr. the other, so Myles Garrett continues to come on. No interceptions. Matthew Dykes, a 30-yard kick return. Bryce Teggs, 3 punt returns for 13 yards. Zane Gonzalez, 3 of 13. or 3 for 3 in his field goal. So Cleveland, there was just shows the ineptitude of the Browns. They had a chance to win the game. They ended up tying it on a field goal. They had a guy, Isaiah Crowell. They threw the pass low. He was wide open in the flat. He had to make moves to get the first down. He got the first down. Then they overturned it. They said that the ball hit the ground, but there's just no reason for that pass to be short. The Browns are just a terrible team. Who knows what? They absolutely have to figure out their quarterback situation. For the Titans, look, I had high expectations for this team. They are 4-3. They are on top of that division. They have got to figure this offense out. They're running the ball pretty effectively. Not great today, but again, you're basically forced to run because Marcus Mariota was doing nothing. I thought that they would still limit their offense just a bit and not try to get fancy against the Cleveland Browns team, but Lord, who knows with this team because Marcus Mariota is just not getting the ball downfield enough. They probably need to get a playmaker for him. The game that just went final, the Miami Dolphins 31-28 over the New York Jets. Jets had a 14-point lead in this game. They were up 28-14 going into the fourth, outscored 17-0 in the fourth quarter, and I was surprised. That's the first time they've blown a 14-point fourth quarter lead in 22 years. Josh McCown 17-27, 209 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 critical interception that set Miami up for the game-winning field goal. Bilal Powell 9 carries, 43 yards, 4.8 per rush. Matt Forte 7-41, 5.9. The team 22 of 92, 4.2 yards per rush. Josh McCown had 3 rushes for 1 yard and a touchdown. Matt Forte 5 of 41 receiving. Bilal Powell 2 of 40. Robbie Anderson 2 of 35. Jermaine Kearse 1 of 29. Anderson, Kearse had the touchdowns. Austin Seferian-Jenkins 3 of 21. He had the other touchdown. Jeremy Curley 2 fumbles, 1 lost, 1 recovered. The team had 3 sacks. Josh Martin, Demario Davis, and Jamal Adams, the safety. Marcus May had an interception. Muhammad Wilkerson also had an interception. Adarius Stewart, 2 kick returns, 30 yards. Jeremy Curley, 4 of 24. And the punt, Chandler Quintezero, did not attempt any field goals. For the Dolphins, Jay Cutler was knocked out of this game. He was 12 for 16, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. That 1 interception was a deflected ball. You could have said maybe he shouldn't have thrown it. He kind of threw it right at Jamal Adams. That was the Wilkerson interception. Wilkerson then bounced in his hands. It wasn't. I wouldn't just completely absolve Cutler of all responsibility on that one, but it was one of his more egregious ones. Matt Moore came in and led him the victory, 13-21, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Matt Moore is one of the better, if not the best backup in the league. Jay Ajayi, 23 carries, 51 yards, 2.2 per rush. Damian Williams, 2 of 2, 1 yards per rush. The team, 25 of 53, 2.1 yards per rush. Jarvis Landry, 7 receptions, 93 yards, 1 touchdown. Kenny Stills, 6 of 85, 2 touchdowns. Julius Thomas, 3 of 58. Anthony Fasano, 3 of 25, the other touchdown. Terrence Fede recovered a fumble. Anthony Fasano fumbled. It was not lost. 3 sacks, and Ndamukong Suh had a half, and Cameron Wake had the other 2.5. Bobby McCain had that interception at the end of the game that set the Dolphins up. Jakeem Grant, 1 kick return, 30 yards. Kenyon Drake, 1 for 26. Jakeem Grant, 3 punt returns, 17 yards. Jarvis Landry, 1 of 16. Cody Parkey, the game-winning field goal. We'll start with the Jets. Look, they came out. They played pretty well. Josh McCown is moving the ball much better than I would have thought coming into this year. It was just a critical interception. They even commented on it. Look, the Jets were backed up. They got the ball back with about, 50 seconds left trying to go for it. The announcer was saying, maybe you just sit on it. Okay, I don't have a problem with the Jets going for it with 3 timeouts left. I don't like just taking a knee in that situation, especially if you have 3 timeouts. But it was just a terrible pass. Could not have happened. And just awful. As for the Dolphins, we'll see what happens. Their offense came to life in this game moving forward. Look, Matt Moore may even be a better option than Jay Cutler. I wouldn't say he isn't, but Jay Cutler is going to get the start. But Matt Moore is certainly capable. It didn't look brutally serious for Jay Cutler, and Matt Moore is a guy who, as you would say, is your best case scenario with a backup. If he plays 5 games, he can go 2-3, 3-2, keep you competitive for a winning team. So we'll see what happens with that moving forward and where Jay Cutler stands in that one. And of course, it was the first game that got final in the 1 o'clock slot, and I'm doing it as the last. Chicago Bears 17-3 over the Panthers. Panthers dropped to 4-3. Chicago was up to 3-4. Cam Newton pretty bad today. 21 of 34, 211 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. One of those was returned for a touchdown. Cam Newton, the top rusher, 9 of 50, 5.6. Jonathan Stewart, 14 of 48, 3.4 per rush. The team 30 of 108. 3.6 yards per rush. Kelvin Benjamin, leading receiver, 3 of 75. Devin Funchess, 4 of 41. Christian McCaffrey, 7 of 36. Cam Newton lost the fumble, so he was turnover prone today. And I don't know if that was that had to be the fumble was on a pitch that was returned for a touchdown. So 14 points for Chicago of their 17 came on returns from the defense. Mario Addison, Kawan Short, Captain Munnerlin, Kyle Love had the 4 sacks, no interceptions. Curtis Samuel, 2 kick returns, 43 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 3 of 17. Graham Gano, 1 of 1 in his field goals. Mitchell Trubisky, 4 of 7. 107 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Jordan Howard, 21 of 65, 3.1 yards per. I mean, I get you got 14 points off the defense. That just shows how bad Carolina's offense was. Your quarterback cannot go. I don't care if you get 30 points from your defense and special teams. Your quarterback cannot go 4 for 7 where you run the ball 21 times for 65 yards and you still win a game by 14 points. Or you still win a game at all, period. Tariq Cohen, 1 reception, 70 yards. Zach Miller, 2 for 29. Tanner Chantry, 1 of 8. Eddie Jackson recovered a fumble. He returned it for a touchdown. 5 sacks. Pernell McPhee. Mitch Unrein had a half. Leonard Floyd, who was playing very well, he was getting pressure in this game as well. Danny Trevathan had a sack. Akeem Hicks and Eddie Goldman had the other half sack. Eddie Jackson returned an interception, 76 yards for the touchdown. So he had both of the touchdowns in this game. Probably going to be Defensive Player of the Week. Danny Trevathan had the other interception. Tariq Cohen, 2 punt returns, 12 yards. No kick returns. Connor Barth, 1 for 2 in his field goal. So Carolina's got to figure out their offense. They've got to get a running game together. They can't throw the ball that well. They really don't have the receivers capable of a short passing game with Benjamin and Funchess. Those are tall downfield guys who try to get the ball to in jump ball situations or things like that. As for the Chicago Bears, hey, they're 3-4. Their defense is coming along. They're well coached under John Fox. I really like Leonard Floyd and what he's doing. He was injured last year. I liked him coming out of the draft. Mitchell Trubisky, again, it remains to be seen. He had a 70-yard pass in this game, but that wasn't even that good of a pass. I mean, he lofted it up, and the guy came back to it because he was so past the defense that he could come back while the defense is running downfield. They're not seeing the ball. So I'd like to see what will happen with Mitchell Trubisky moving forward, but they got the win, and certainly that defense is coming along. All right, when the 4 o'clock game goes final, the 4 o'clock start games go final. We'll give you the recap of those. Be sure to stay tuned, and of course, we appreciate all subscriptions and comments. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you in a little bit.